Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of Understand Your Shit. And today we're going to be talking about how I realized that I was my own worst enemy. And, people talk about this all the time, like, you're only fighting against yourself, blah, 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 blah. But it wasn't until I found human design that's when I really started to understand, like, we really are just out here fighting against ourselves and fighting against our conditioning and the things that we picked up during childhood. And the problem is that we don't always see or understand where we have been conditioned and the limitations that we have taken on as a result of, living in society and from parents and friends and all of that. We don't always see it. We have a general idea, like usually it's around money or around business or success or relationships or body, but we never really know or understand. So it makes it a little bit difficult to really get to the nucleus of the situation, right? So what I want you to think about while I'm talking and through this episode is, where do you think your limitations or the things that you have been conditioned to think are your limitations, where is that showing up the most in your life? Because that's where we want to start. That's where we really want to get clear on, are these stories even mine? Have I, been living out a story that really doesn't belong to me? And where can I start to release some of that? And the outcome, especially when you understand human design to the extent that I have and to the extent that I've been studying it, you start to realize that there are areas, when you look at someone's chart, you can literally see where they have been conditioned. You can see where they are the most vulnerable. You can see where they start to doubt themselves, or when they start to think that they are not enough or that they're too much. And with human design, that's where the real power of it is understanding, okay, I'm vulnerable here. And this is where a lot of my conditioning has come from. So now I can start to move away from that. I can start to release these stories and step into who I actually am, rather than holding on to all this bullshit and holding on to all of this crap that doesn't even belong to me. Something is on fire again. Something's always on fire. But anyway, so we're going to jump right in. The first tip that I have, and I have notes, that's why I'm looking over, is stop trying to have all the answers. For me, I would get so crippled by this idea that I had to have all the answers. I had to have everything planned out. I had to have all the details in front of me before I felt safe enough to make a decision or go out and do the thing. I was like, no, I need to have all the information. I need all the details. I need to know the what, the where, the when, the how, who's going to be there. How am I going to do this? What's the plan? And I always thought that, it's just the Virgo in me, or I'm a perfectionist, or I'm a planner. I just need to know. Like, no. It's because I've literally been conditioned that if I don't have all the details, something terrible is going to happen. I'm going to fail. It's not going to work. I'm not smart enough, or I'm not intelligent enough to just go out on a limb and do this thing. So I need to make sure I have all of the information so that if something goes wrong, I can, respond accordingly. And in our society, we like to think, oh, that's a good thing. That's a good skill set to have. No. It is a trauma response, okay? It is literally conditioning. It is limitations that I picked up from my mother, who probably picked it up from her mother, and so many other people around me who feel like that is a good thing to have. Stressing yourself out, over planning, getting paralyzed with the details is a good thing because it keeps you from making a bad decision. Or it keeps you from doing something that's actually aligned for you. But which is it, And in human design, that pressure, that urge to find all of the answers and have all of the things in front of you comes from the crown center. I have an undefined crown center. So when I learned this, and I was like, oh shit, that's why I feel like I have this constant urge, like I have to know all of the things before I can do it. I have to be sure. I have to be 100% certain that this is going to work before I go out and do it. But do you? Do you actually need to have all the answers before you take a step, before you make a decision? Do you really? No, you actually don't. But I couldn't understand that. I could not see past that until I had it laid out in front of me, and I was like, wow, I have missed out on so many opportunities. I have not ruined, but I've kind of ruined a lot of really good relationships because I was so caught up in needing to have all of the answers. Is this person my soulmate? Does this person really care about me? Is this really the relationship that I'm supposed to be in? Maybe I need to go out and search some more. I'm not sure. And that need to be sure fucked me over in a lot of different circumstances. And I could not see that until I was looking at it in my chart and I was like, fuck. I talked myself out of some really good opportunities because I couldn't see through the trees, because I needed to have all the information, because I needed to have all of the answers and I needed to be sure, when that's not how I'm designed to work. So that tip number one. Tip number two is to stop making success, and especially money. This is a big thing for money. Stop making success and money mean more than what it is. I'm going to explain this because when I was first getting started with my business and I was, trying to do all the things and trying to make the money, and I couldn't understand why my business wasn't working. I was like, I'm doing all the things. I have the email list. I have my lead magnet. I'm making videos. I'm doing the why isn't this working? I was putting so much pressure on myself to be successful and to have the business because deep down, I thought that once I got the thing, once I got the business, once I made all the money, once I had all the recognition and the followers, that meant that I had finally proven myself. After I had all of that, I could look my haters, the people who didn't believe with me, square in the eye and say, look, I made $10,000 on a launch. And what? Oh, you're quiet now? Oh. Yeah, exactly. That is what I thought all of those things were going to bring me. So I was putting everything into it. I was putting all this pressure on myself. I was putting all of my hopes and my dreams and literally basing who I was, basing my worth, my self-worth as a human being on whether or not I made the money, whether or not my business brought in clients, whether or not I had 1 million subscribers, which I don't have, but that's not the point. That's not the point. But I didn't understand that, again, until I got into human design and I realized, okay, I have an undefined heart center. What does that mean? With people who have undefined heart centers, we have this overwhelming urge to prove ourselves. I need to prove to you that I am valuable, that I am worthy, and that I am lovable. Because if I don't, then what? Like, who am I if I'm not proving to you how worthy I am, how amazing I am, how valuable I am, right? And I was like, what the fuck? Like, where did this come from? Where did I pick this up? Because I already know I was vulnerable to it because again, my human design is like, this is where you're vulnerable. There are so many different in school, Your grades determine you a good student, you a bad student. Well, if you got an F, that means you're a bad student. So you got to work harder to get the grade so you can prove that you're actually a good student, because if you don't, that just means you're a bad student. And that's from childhood. Kindergarten. Well, maybe not kindergarten. Let's say first grade. First grade up to 12th grade. And then I did college and, masters. All of it was just a cycle of trying to prove that I was worthy, prove that I knew what I was talking about, prove that I could, do what everyone was asking me to do. So my entire life, I've been trying to prove myself. And it is the most exhausting thing in the world. And as adults, we get into this with, like I said, business, with money. We have to prove to other people that we are valuable and that we are worthy by the amount of money we make, by how successful our business is. And all of that pressure, first of all, it's killing us. But it also takes the fun out of everything that you're doing. It takes the fun out of having a business. It takes the fun out of actually getting the money. It's like, oh, I have it now. And it's like, see, I'm successful. I'm worthy. No. So stop that. And I'm speaking specifically to the people who have undefined crown centers, who have undefined heart centers, because I'm speaking from experience here, right? And for a lot of people, me being a manifesting generator, I need to be lit up by the things that I am doing. So if I'm constantly trying to prove myself, most of the time that means I'm doing things that don't light me up. And I talk about this a lot in my program, The Generator Experience, which is open for enroll now. And if you are a generator or a manifesting generator and you resonate with the things that I'm saying, then click the link in my bio, apply for the program. It's literally the best. I'm very proud of it. So if you want to learn about being a generator or manifesting generator and how to actually live your design in alignment day to day, that's probably the program for you. But let's get into my last tip because this video is getting long. My last thing, stop trying to fix everyone around you. It is not your job to make everyone feel better. It is not your job to fix everyone else's problems. And I see this the most with people who have undefined solar plexus centers. I have an undefined solar plexus. And for me, this manifests as avoiding confrontation, because when you get into a conflict with someone, right, and you're going back and forth and you're talking about, whatever it is that you're talking about, emotions tend to get stirred up. And for me, having an undefined solar plexus center, if I'm experiencing my emotions and I'm experiencing your emotions, that is a lot at one time. And it makes me feel like I have no control. I have no control over the situation. It makes me feel very, very unsafe. So I just avoid that at all costs. Because if I can't fix you, if I can't make you feel better, then I'm just going to fall apart. Because what else am I supposed to do? Right? Because just sitting in my emotions and your emotions is too much. And it wasn't until I got into human design and I really started to look at the centers in my chart that are undefined where I realized it's not my job to fix anyone. It's not my job to make other people feel better. It's not my job to fix other people's emotions. I am capable of simply sitting in the emotion without trying to fix it, without trying to make it be different. But when you grow up in a tumultuous household like I did, my parents had a very, very abusive relationship mentally and physically, I got into this habit of trying to make people feel better, trying to fix people, because if I didn't, somebody was going to get slapped. Something bad was going to happen if I couldn't fix it. Something bad was going to happen if I wasn't there to resolve the problem. And I carried that into my adult life. And I found myself still avoiding conflict, still trying to fix people's emotions. I became a life coach. I was like, yeah, I'm going to fix people. I'm going to make everybody feel better. Everyone's just going to be happy and it's going to be great. And then I was like, no, that's not how that works, And I had to really decondition myself out of that. So for people who have undefined solar plexus centers like I do, that is the work, understanding that it's not your job to fix anyone. Even though you really, really want to, you want that control. You want that feeling of, I have a handle on the situation. Everything's going to be fine because I'm in control. But you don't have to be in control. You don't have to fix the emotions. You can actually guide people. And so those are my 3 tips. What was the first one? Stop trying to have all the answers. It's paralyzing you in the end. Stop making success and business mean more than what it is. Your worth, your value is not determined. It's not based on how much money you make. It's not based on how well your business is doing. It's not based on how many followers you have. It's not. And number 3, stop trying to fix everyone. Stop trying to fix every situation. It's not your job. It's not your job. You can release that. You can let that go. It's time to let that go. Okay? So That's basically all I have. Again, if you are a generator or a manifesting generator and you're getting into human design and you're wondering, how do I actually live in alignment as a generator or manifesting generator? Like, how does this actually work? How can I use this to better my life? How can I use this to actually feel happy, to feel content, to feel fulfilled? Then my 6-week course, The Generator Experience, is probably going to be amazing for you. So if you're interested in that, make sure you click the link in my bio and fill out the form. And I will see you all tomorrow. Oh, you know what? What are we talking about tomorrow? Let's figure that out. What will we talk about tomorrow? Ooh, you know what? Tomorrow we're going to talk about where you're wasting your energy. That's a really good one. So that'll be tomorrow's topic, and I will see you all then. End. Oh, there we go.